A hard brand split is said to be coming to AEW, and we will tell you why. WWE President Nick Khan has said around $50 million in cuts are coming to the company. And Mercedes Mone's contract status has been revealed in the wrestling news right now. AEW Collision is a brand new 2-hour wrestling show put on by AEW, debuting on TNT between the hours of 8 and 10 p.m. on June the 17th.
A big Saturday night show. It's a Saturday night. What do you do between the hours of 8 p.m. and 10?
Anything but watch wrestling.
On a Saturday night, you would think that would be the case.
I'm boogieing on Pop World's dance floor.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Dave Meltzer last week on Wrestling Observer, in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, said that CM Punk is going to be the face of Collision, and this has ramifications for the rest of the roster because there's basically going to be a brand split. On one half of the brand split, you're going to have people who want to work with CM Punk. On the other half of the brand split, you're going to have everyone who wants to avoid CM Punk.
That's a great way to appease talent. You know, that's a great. Clearly, the workplace is buzzing, and then everyone gets along. Yeah, you don't want to be doing something like this where you go, oh, here's people that like him, here's people that don't. There's better solutions.
Of course there is. But we have big scoops from this from Andrew Zarian, because initial reports suggested this would be sort of like a soft brand split is the way it was put. But now Andrew Zarian, as Fraser will read out, has said it's going to be very much a hard brand split.
Yeah, it's going to be a harder split than he originally thought. So Andrew Zarian said the plans have been put in place to possibly have a tentative Saturday show to be a soft brand split. When I used that term yesterday on Mat Men, I was told that it's less soft than I'm putting out there. I guess there'll be people that are predominantly on the other show on the Saturday show, Zarian said. But Brian Alvarez also reported on the Wrestling Observer Live that the roster split is being introduced to keep CM Punk and talent apart. As you said earlier on, Ross, it's... a hard split for AEW. They've got one world title. You would assume that's the one that roams, right?
Yeah, I'm all for Roman world, like not a Roman world champion.
Roman world champion and AEW confirmed.
But a one that flows between the two brands, if this indeed what we're going to get, is very much an idea that works. I think it's up on its own pedestal. It's its own thing. Hopefully it just become like all sort of like everything's consumed by it, like Roman Reigns' reign has. That works because he's the tribal chief. I don't know if a thing like that would work with somebody who's currently wrestling for AEW. But a brand split outside of the CM Punk bollocks that should just get sorted out behind the scenes, I think, and then, go out there and wrestle like true professionals would do. Yeah. Easier said than done, of course, for me sat here behind this news desk. It just seems like a good thing because of obviously AEW's much publicised and heavily bloated roster.
Yeah, that's the thing that AEW's had for the past, year and a half, 2 years now, this massive roster that you'll see talents come and go and they'll not appear on TV in weeks and weeks. And this might be the solution, but I'm worried it's not going to.
Why?
Because I feel like they'll just add more people. They'll go, we've got an extra 2 hours of programming to fill. Let's bring more people in. But I'm excited to see what happens with it, even if it is not the best solution just to appease the roster.
I tell you what, though, one thing is for sure. On the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast every single Friday night, AEW Rampage will not be covered as Collision will take its place. Rampage is already redundant as things are. It's not. It's already redundant. And with this new thing coming, it's going to be even more so. So we know that we reported yesterday in the news, I should say, that Chris Jericho is going to be CM Punk's first feud back as he continues to leech on everything popular.
Take up the next 9 months. That's you've got programs sorted. To just face every single member of the JAS.
So because of the way Jericho feuds happen, Punk will beat Jericho early on, then Punk will have to fight his way through the JAS, then he'll have a blow-off match at the end where Jericho could win, score a consolation goal, but win the feud as a whole.
Yeah, ref will get knocked out or something. Yeah, that you've got... Tony, hire him.
Yeah, aye, please do. Anyway, last month, of course, we saw that Endeavour acquired WWE. There's going to be a merger between UFC, WWE, new co formed. Nick Khan has got his new role as the president of the WWE in this new co. He has been speaking about terrifying things about people who work for that company, hasn't he, Fraser?
Yeah, he said to Light Shed Live, if you look at what Endeavour was able to take out cost-wise from UFC in 2016, or shortly after the deal was done, we have the same expectation here. We think 50 million is a really conservative number.
Conservative number.
Yeah, he's holding back there.
To be fair, that is just one Brock Lesnar appearance.
True, yeah. Well, he's
shocking everybody.
Well, that's a big scoop there, but a huge scoop. Where he said we have integration teams now. We're going to get those in shape. I think we'll have a better sense of it in a month or two. We're going to be pretty aggressive with them to make sure that for our shareholders and for our company, our organization is as lean and as mean as possible. And we're going to rely on the Endeavour flywheel to make up the rest.
There's lots of buzzwords there for like lean and mean and flywheels and
tight.
Tight. Lovely.
It's just. I mean, it's expected when a company merges, you're going to have budget cuts and stuff like that. But 50 million is a lot of people. Now, you mentioned it is like one Brock Lesnar, but that's also a lot of office staff.
Yeah.
And when it's something like this, budget cuts, obviously we think, it could be folk on roster, but it's likely going to be the folk behind the scenes.
It's going to be everything surrounding the wrestling product, because Nick Khan was also speaking about the TV product, and basically he said it's going to be left alone. He said the most important thing is to leave the product untouched. Untouched meaning if Triple H and Kevin want to evolve it, great, but in terms of cutbacks there, that's not what we're looking to do. And it's good to hear the TV product is not going to be touched. Obviously thoughts are with everyone behind the scenes who could be affected by these cuts. It's nice to see that the TV product won't be touched. But he says Triple H and Kevin Dunn there.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear, right?
It is really nice
but
to
also,
hear.
It's again buzzwords. Triple H, Kevin Dunn. you don't want to spill the beans there, but also it makes sense not to touch the TV product. That's what Endeavor's bought.
Yeah.
Like, why would you go out your way to change what you've just bought?
That's what the TV companies buy as well. USA Network, Fox, that's what they want to buy, and that not getting touched is a good thing indeed. Mercedes Mone, her deal in Japan is coming up very soon indeed. Of course, she's taking on Maya Iwatani in that big old match soon.
At Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom.
And then apparently after that, she's gone after a very short excursion in Japan, but that might not be the case, might it not, Fraser?
No, according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Monet is in talks with New Japan over a new deal, but it currently, as of right now, has not been finalised. But the talks are currently underway for her to compete at Dominion or some other New Japan event. They said they are in negotiations for one more match. Her final match on her current contract is the match that's coming up this Sunday in the Yokohama Arena against Maya for the IWGP Women's title. I do not know if the deal is done. It was not done the last I was told, but she is in talks for one more date. I don't know what the date would be. I don't know if it could be Dominion or what exactly. That's where her situation is right now, says Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, I was sat yesterday with Andrew, and when Andrew's dropped that bombshell on me, I was like, surely she had a bucket list as long as this tabler with stuff she wanted to do in Japan, and obviously she barely scratched the surface as we're sat here in April. So this sign of the new deal is we expect it to go through, don't we? She gets to tick off all that bucket list that she's got.
I would expect so. She's only been there 2 months, making her debut at Wrestle Kingdom. And I feel like as you said, there's more that she can do. She's just literally got her foot in the door. So hopefully she sticks around, but also there's a lot of potential stuff that she could do off the back of this in AEW.
Yeah.
A new Saturday 2-hour show.
What's made you say that? Could it be the Forbidden Door pay-per-view coming up?
Maybe, possibly, yeah.
Why the hell not? But over to Impact Wrestling we go, and of course over the weekend we had the Rebellion pay-per-view where we had Steve Macklin win the world title, Deonna Purrazzo win the women's the Knockouts Championship, sorry. So they are the new power couple in Impact Wrestling, but only behind the scenes and not in front of camera. Tell us why, Frazier.
Well, when asked on Fightful's In the Weeds, if fans could see Macklin and Purrazzo sort of versus James and Aldis. Nick Aldis, of course, he returned to Impact and made a sort of statement that he's the next challenger to Steve Macklin. And when asked if we could see that potential match, Purrazzo replied, "Steve and I have always talked about it. We're not huge intergender wrestlers, but if there's a story and it made sense, it'd be something we'd be open to. Right now, Impact does not allow us on screen together. We're not allowed to talk about each other. We do not exist in each other's worlds yet in Impact Wrestling. I don't know what it'll be something that happens, but I think that it makes a lot of sense, and it was something that was brought to the table. I think Steve and I would absolutely be open to it. So strange that currently, or maybe it's not too strange, we've seen certain storylines in wrestling where they involve real life relationships. Doesn't quite work out. I think it would here.
Kayfabe is not dead.
Kayfabe, yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
They're not together, but then on Twitter they're like, yes, we got the belts.
That's a different world, isn't it, when the cameras aren't rolling. Anyway, Deonna continues saying that's an Impact call, this entire thing of keeping them apart on the screen. I just turned babyface, I'm a good guy, and Steve is super, super bad. No one likes Steve Macklin. Those lines in Impact can't be blurred, especially with Steve being world champion and getting the opportunities that he's gotten. It's really important right now to make sure that he's getting the reactions that they need from him, and he's keeping up that persona. Steve Kuprick, I apologise, I've got that pronunciation wrong. I got that right.
I think you got that right. Kuprick.
Caprica. I don't know why I've said that. Who's Caprica?
I don't know. I was going for
Paprika. I don't know what's. Hey, anyway, in her real life, it's her husband, Deonna Purrazzo's, is the complete opposite of what we see on TV every week. He's legit teddy bear. It would take that edge off him, and we're not ready for that. I mean, the edge has already been taken off with that.
With that one comment calling him a teddy bear, but maybe, I think this could be a good matchup. I think if they did decide to do it, you've got quite a few couples in Impact that you could fight off against. You've got Nick Aldis, Mickey James. You've got Jonathan Gresham, Jordan Grace. You've got more that are not coming to my head right now, but there is plenty of sort of opportunities there. But I'm kind of relieved that they're keeping the focus on Steve Macklin, Nick Aldis right now.
Yeah, Shark Boy, Shark Girl, Curry Man, Curry Girl,
Teddy Bear, Teddy Bear. I don't know.
We'll end the video there, Fraser. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you think about the news we've covered today down below. Anything to plug on the channel? I just listen that, innit?
Just listen that,
just keep up to date with everything.
Watch all the good stuff.
It's all nice. So cheers. All the best.